Hello viewers, I'm your host Uzma Jafri with another episode of South Asia Focus. Let's begin the show with news of China blocking yet another bid made in the United Nations to list Pakistan-based Jaish-e Mohammad chief and Pathankot terror attack mastermind Masood Azhar as a global terrorist. A report.
Maulana Masood Azhar, a slaughterer accused of coordinating various terrorist attacks in India, including deadly attack on Indian Parliament in 2002 and Indian Air Force Base in Pathankot in 2016, continue to roam free inside the territory of Pakistan. Courtesy Pakistan's all-weather friend China, which, by citing lack of consensus among members, has repeatedly stonewalled the decision of him being listed as global terrorist. India has been trying to get Masood Azhar on a UN list of groups with ties to Al-Qaeda for his subversive activities against India's sovereignty. This is the second year in succession that China has blocked the resolution. Last year, it had done the same to stall India's application by putting a technical hold, citing a lack of consensus. However, India, undeterred by China's attempts, has vowed to battle the menace until Azhar is designated as global terrorist.
मसूद अजहर के जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है वो तो ऑलरेडी बैंड है। अब ये ब्लॉक से हमारे जो कटिबद्धता है आतंकवाद से लड़ने के खिलाफ उस पर कोई असर नहीं पड़ेगा, वो जारी रहेगी। इसमें बहुत सारे देश हमसे जुड़े हैं, हमसे जुड़ते रहेंगे और हमारी जो एक रिजॉल्व है टू इंश्योर दैट द टेरिटरी ऑफ इंडिया रिमेन्स सेफ, दैट वी ऑल रिमेन सेफ, दैट कंटिन्यूज।
China, which has more than once presented itself as an irresponsible country, seems to be involved in a quid pro quo with Pakistan, as Pakistan supports its geopolitical aspirations in South Asia. China has also made a multi-billion-dollar investment in Pakistan in the line of its broader Belt and Road Initiative, which irks India as it traverses through disputed territory of Gilgit-Baltistan. Pakistan's support to China over the South China Sea issue has also fueled India's fears of Beijing's forays in the Indian Ocean region.
The wrangling over Masood Azhar, a long-time India's foe, has become a thorny issue in its ties with China. We are now joined by Mr. Ajay Sahni, a counter-terrorism expert, to further speak on the issue. Mr. Sahni, do you think China's consistent stand on designating Masood Azhar as global terrorist makes China as a nation putting self-interest over war on terror to achieve its goals?
China does not accept any international norms, irrespective of whether it is terrorism, whether it is in the South China Seas, whether it is in its relationships with other countries, where they in any sense clash or counter their perceived self-interest. As far as the case of Masood Azhar is concerned, they see their self-interest as allied with Pakistan. India is marginal to their calculation, so they don't really care what the impact is on their relationships with India, and they have no significant respect for international law or convention.
What is the way ahead for India and other countries which have been seeking Azhar's listing on the United Nations Sanction Committee?
You see, China has got the right attitude. China understands that all these things are not defined or decided by conventions and good intentions and nonsense like that. They are decided by the equation of power. Where China knows that it can prevail, it forgets about all these other values and laws and conventions and uses or exercises its force or its influence. And this is what we must understand, especially from the Indian perspective, that unless we are able to significantly alter the equation of power, no convention is going to protect us from our adversaries.
Do you believe that China has been making some serious diplomatic mistakes when it is willingly distancing itself from India for Pakistan, and will it have long-term consequences?
All of China's actions are within a long-term strategic framework which they believe is to their interest. They will not alter this unless they find that they are being actively harmed by pursuing these policies. At this juncture, there is no reason to believe that any harm is accruing to China, and there is also consequently no reason to believe that China will alter its actions.
Thank you, Mr. Sahni. Moving on. Amid worsening security situation in Afghanistan, the United States NATO allies have agreed to increase their force strength by 3,000 personnel, matching the same numbers being deployed by the US as its longest war stalemates in its 16th year. We have a report.
The Taliban and Islamic State's growing footprints in war-torn Afghanistan continue to make it as world's most volatile nation. On November the 7th, gunmen wearing suicide vests attacked Shamshad TV, the one of Afghanistan's leading television stations. 2 people were killed and over a dozen employees were injured in the attack, claims the Islamic State. Shamshad TV is Afghanistan's major Pashto language station, broadcasting over the air and by satellite throughout the country. It has heavy viewership areas dominated by Pashtun ethnic group. The station is a major recipient of American foreign aid, particularly through advertising expenditure. A survivor reveals the situation during the attack. To defeat Taliban and ISIS militants and end the conflict, the NATO has decided to send 3,000 more troops to increase its Afghanistan training mission. The troops would be deployed from the start of 2018. Fresh NATO personnel will not have combat role, but the alliance hopes more soldiers can train the Afghan army and air force to complement US President Donald Trump's strategy to send more American counter-terrorism troops to the country.
Good morning. The Secretary General will start by...
There will be more troops. The current level is around 13,000. The new level will be around 16,000. They will train, assist and advise, and in particular we are focusing on training the Afghan Special Operation Forces, which have proven so key in the fight against the insurgents, the terrorists, the Taliban. And we are going to help them with developing the Air Force. The Afghans are now more and more capable of conducting air operations themselves. And we will help them with military schools, improve command and control.
Trump's strategy in Afghanistan rests on providing more troops, a stronger Afghan army, support from regional allies such as India, and a harder line with Pakistan. US officials say Pakistan provides refuge and support to Taliban and other extremist groups, which Pakistan denies.
The West says it is determined to stabilize a country facing resurgent rebels 16 years after the United States sought to topple the Taliban rulers who had harbored the Al-Qaeda militants behind attacks on New York and Washington. Moving on. The region of Gilgit-Baltistan, which is under Pakistan's illegal occupation, continues to remain the most deprived and the neglected. However, there is a growing chorus for demand of share in the CPEC project. A report.
The multi-billion China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC, which has repeatedly been touted as the game-changer for the Pakistan economy by Islamabad, is in reality a project being accomplished against the agonies and sufferings of the people of Gilgit-Baltistan. The CPEC corridor, which traverses through the heart of disputed territory of Gilgit-Baltistan, has a myriad of under-construction projects and various others lined up in the territory of Gilgit-Baltistan, but the oppressive government of Pakistan has not given even an iota of share to the locals. Land was seized and an ample compensation amount was promised to the locals. However, they have not been provided even a penny till now.
हमारा सब कुछ चाहते हैं जो पाकिस्तान चाहता था हमारा बच्चे नहीं हैं हमारा मुस्तकबिल नहीं है, गिलगित बल्तिस्तान वाला इंसान नहीं है, जानवर है यहाँ पे, सब जानवर तो नहीं रहता है ना, इंसान रहते हैं यहाँ पे। रखा है कि जो अभी सब यहाँ बैठ के झूठे वो बयान दे रहे हैं, कोई भी एक ऐसे मनसूबा देखो जो पाकिस्तान के अलावा अभी के जरूर हमारा जो बना रहा है कहते इसके मनसूबे में शामिल क्या किया था, वो तो पाकिस्तान के मफाद में, हमारा मफाद में तो नहीं है। हम तो सिर्फ चल रहे हैं वहाँ पर, सीपेक इसलिए तो वो बना रहे हैं, हमारे लिए क्या दे रहे हैं। सीपेक में कौन सा मनसूबा रखा है जो गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में बाल्टिस्तान को फ़ायदा होगा, एक ऐसा बड़ा मनसूबा दिखाए। और ड्यामर बादशाह डैम रखा है, ड्यामर में उसमें क्या दिया गया है, गिलगित बल्तिस्तान को क्या दिया है, रॉयल्टी दिया है नहीं दिया है। हमारा सबसे बड़ा मुतालबा है गिलगित बल्तिस्तान को रॉयल्टी पूरा गिलगित बल्तिस्तान को मिलना चाहिए।
Reasonable voices have been muzzled by the high-handed measures of the government, and rest of the common people have been deceived by making large claims through media channels. However, nothing which has been claimed by the government has been attained by the government.
हम तो यहाँ पे कंटेनर देखेंगे, कोई मंसूबा नहीं, ये सारे झूठ हैं, अखबारात तक महदूद है, कोई फिक्र कोई मंसूबा का हमें तो नाम निशान का पता नहीं है। हम इनकी भरपूर मजम्मत करते हैं जी, कोई सीपेक में हमने रखा कोई नहीं। हम सर दुआ खाएंगे यहाँ बैठ के, ये कंटेनर गवादर और सफदर और कैप्टन सफदर के मनसूबे हवालियाँ में जो बनाए गए हैं इनके लिए बनाए, नवाज शरीफ के ख़ानदान के लिए सीपेक बनाया, कोई और सूबा गिलगित की जैसे हम तो यहाँ के सीपेक के मरकज़ी वो खुंजराफ हमारा इलाका है, कोई मंसूबा नहीं रखा, ये खाली कागजी हैं, दावे हैं।
The people of Gilgit-Baltistan are always given a second-class treatment, and no real work is undertaken by the people sitting in Islamabad for the welfare of these people.
ये हमने बार बार इनसे सवाल किया, इनके पास दो ही जवाब है। वो कहते हैं कि हमने दियामर बादशाह डैम को जो है ना सीपेक में रखवाया है, हमने जो है ना गिजिर चतराल रोड को रखवाया। ये दोनों सब्जेक्ट मैं कहता हूँ, मैं इनको चैलेंज करता हूँ, ये साबित करें ये सब दोनों प्रोजेक्ट हमारे हैं, तो ये दोनों का बेनिफिट केपीके को जाना है। तो दोनों केपीके के प्रोजेक्ट को लेकर हमारे लोगों को बेवकूफ़ बनाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के लोगों को सीपेक में अभी तक धुआं के अलावा हमें कोई असरात भी नज़र आ रहे हैं, न ये देने के कोई प्रोग्राम में है। ये बार बार इनको कहकर हम तंग आ चुके हैं, ये देना नहीं चाह रहे हैं, बल्कि सितम ये हो रहा है कि हमारी ज़मीनों को ये फ्री में ले जाना चाहते हैं। कम से कम ये तो बंद हमारा हक बनता कि हमारी ज़मीनें अगर ये ले जा रहे हैं, उस पर यूटिलाइज कर रहे हैं, तो उसका कम्पनसेशन हमें देते तो हमें वो कम्पनसेशन की हद में तो कुछ मिलता और कुछ तो मिला नहीं है।
The people of Gilgit-Baltistan are not only deprived of fundamental rights, but anyone raising his voice in dissent, rightfully seeking his share of rights in the CPEC, has suffered the barbarism of Pakistan Army. Islamabad has resorted to a systematic and diabolic design of violence to crush anyone who dares standing against its projects. The China-led $51.5 billion multi-layered infrastructure project aims to connect Kashgar in China's western province of Xinjiang with the port of Gwadar in Balochistan. The CPEC enters Pakistan from China through the Karakoram Highway in Gilgit-Baltistan, the part of undivided Kashmir.
Pakistan has been exploiting the people and the region for decades and has not given anything to the people in return. We are now joined by Dr. Miswar Hasan Khan, President Jammu and Kashmir Liberation League Europe, to further speak on the issue. China is entering in the Kashmiri territory through different projects. How do you think it will affect the region?
Yeah, there are a lot of concerns about it. Actually, Chinese companies are working in Pakistan administered Kashmir, and they have completed one of a mega hydel projects called Neelam Jhelum hydel project that has been built up by the technical expertise of Chinese companies. And the way these mega projects are being developed, no one actually knows, because the local government or the local people, they are not involved in any of these projects. They don't know what's going on, what will happen, what will be the outcome, and there are a lot of concerns. Yesterday we went to a meeting and there were a lot of concerns raised by even Pakistani people who are from Sindh, and they were saying that the coal power project they are developing there, which is absolutely horrendously damaging for the environment. So similarly, the Neelam Jhelum project, that is going to affect the environment to a mega extent, and 1.7 million population will be under threat because of the deprivation of water. So this is, I am seeing that it will be a great impact on the local lives of local people.
Political activists are continuously targeted and sometimes even killed. So what kind of freedom are we talking about in that region?
I don't think there is freedom to speak their heart out. There are many activists in Pakistan administered Kashmir, including Gilgit and Baltistan, where people under Schedule 4 are in jails facing long-term 40 years of an imprisonment for demanding their civil and political rights. Similarly, there are many authors who have written books on the history of Kashmir, and those books have not only been banned, but those authors, one of authors, he has been kicked out of his service. So he has been removed from service because of his political opinion, which I think is again a violation of his basic rights. So if anyone speaks out the truth, they have to face the consequences.
Recently, the Prime Minister of POK made an anti-Pakistan statement and he faced a lot of criticism by the Pakistan government and its people. So how do you see this incident?
Actually, it was not against the government of Pakistan. He spoke of his own rights. And every Kashmiri has the right for deciding his or her future. And he just said that if the situation like Nawaz Sharif was removed by the CPEC court in Pakistan, and that was considered by majority of the people in Pakistan, it was not a legal or correct way of doing it. So when that present Prime Minister, who is affiliated with Mr. Nawaz Sharif over in Pakistan, when he reviewed that situation, then he thought that if this is the situation with the Prime Minister of Pakistan, so what people of Kashmir will be dealt with in future if they decide to join Pakistan.
Thank you, Dr. Hassan. Moving on to India, which has been extensively working on giving a push to the trade and diplomatic relations with its neighbors. One such dream was realized when a railway route between India and Bangladesh was reopened after 52 years. A report.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, his Bangladeshi counterpart Sheikh Hasina and Chief of India's East and West Bengal state Mamata Banerjee jointly flagged off Bandhan Express through video conferencing. Bandhan Express is a cross-border passenger train that will run between India's eastern Kolkata city and Bangladesh's southwestern industrial city of Khulna. Hasina labelled the launch as a dream come true moment.
উভয় কার্যক্রমের মধ্যে আমাদের দীর্ঘদিনের এই দুই দেশেরই বিশেষ করে আমাদের দুই পাশাপাশি দুই অঞ্চলের মানুষের দীর্ঘদিনের একটা স্বপ্ন পূরণ হলো। কলকাতা চিতপুরে নতুন আন্তর্জাতিক যাত্রী টার্মিনাল সহ এসব উদ্যোগ ঢাকা কলকাতা এবং খুলনা কলকাতার মধ্যে আরামদায়ক ভ্রমণে সহায়ক হবে বলে আমি মনে করি।
While stating India's commitment in Bangladesh's development, Indian Prime Minister Modi said that the two bridges built at a cost of $100 million out of India's line of credit would help strengthen the rail network of Bangladesh. He also expressed his contentment at the improved bilateral relations between the neighbors.
इंटरनेशनल पैसेंजर टर्मिनल्स के उद्घाटन से कोलकाता ढाका मैत्री एक्सप्रेस द्वारा जो आज शुरू हुई कोलकाता खुलना बंधन एक्सप्रेस के यात्रियों को बहुत सुविधा होगी। इससे उन्हें न सिर्फ कस्टम्स और इमिग्रेशन में आसानी होगी, बल्कि उनकी यात्रा के समय में भी करीब 3 घंटे की बचत होगी।
The fully air-conditioned train service will be operational from November 16 and run every Thursday between the two cities, covering a distance of 172 kilometers in 4.5 hours. It is a weekly train that will depart from Kolkata every Thursday at 7:10 a.m. and reach Khulna, the third largest town in Bangladesh, at 12:30 p.m. Bandhan Express was the first train to connect Kolkata and Khulna after Barisal Express, which was stopped owing to the India-Pakistan War in 1965. Bandhan Express is the second train to run between the countries after the Maitri Express, which has been running between Kolkata and Dhaka since 2008.
The newly opened route will provide direct connectivity to people living near the southern border of India and Bangladesh. Moving on, a thematic India-Nepal folk festival was organized in capital city Kathmandu. The festival aimed at promoting bilateral relations between the two countries through crafts and enhanced relationship between artisans.
With an aim to boost bilateral relations between India and Nepal through cultural exchange, Folkscraft Festival 2017 is being organized by South Asia Foundation in Kathmandu. A total of 50 artisan and craft persons, including 20 from India, are taking part in the 5-day-long festival.
नहीं, मैं नेपाल भारत मतलब नेपाल सरकार को थैंक यू बोलना चाहती हूँ कि उन्होंने हमें ये मौका दिया और यहाँ आने का चांस दिया। हमें बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है यहाँ पे आके और आप लोगों का सपोर्ट पाके भी बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है। यहाँ के लोग बहुत अच्छे हैं, हमें बहुत मज़ा आ रहा है।
Handicraft and artifacts are being showcased during the event that attracts a large number of visitors.
As you can see, I bought these earrings and I also have one in my bag. So actually the India-Nepal Folk Crafts Festival is like a trade exhibit for Nepal actually. It actually helps in maintaining the good trade relation between Nepal and India.
Such festivals will help in strengthening the relations between the neighboring countries.
Nepal, which stares at a political transition in coming future, has been reaching out to its neighbors to further improve bilateral relations. Now I leave you with some images of choral singing competition organized in Indian capital city, New Delhi. Goodbye and take care.
Going home to live with God. Sooner we'll be done with the troubles of the world, troubles of the world, the troubles of the world. Sooner we'll be done with the troubles of the world. Going home to live with God. I want to meet my mother. I want to meet my mother. I want to meet my mother. I'm going to live with God. I want to meet my mother. I want to meet witness for my Lord. I'll be a witness for my Lord. I'll be a witness for my Lord. I'll be a witness for my Lord. There was a man of the Pharisees. His name was Nicodemus, and he didn't believe. The same came to Christ by night. Wanted to be taught out of humanity.